We should begin with the hardest thing known to man to comprehend, the universe itself. In spite of the fact that the universe is likewise actually the main thing we can comprehend. PBS Space Time is a channel that takes on pretty much every material science theme you can consider in its push to make the enormous subject of the universe simply somewhat more justifiable. It likewise takes on everything from the earliest starting point of the universe, the Big Bang, and previously, to the possible end. You will likewise discover what time is the reason it is, and what occurs in the event that you turn around its course. Once in a while the points may get somewhat mind-boggling for certain watchers. I'll never appropriately get the math of room time, yet they are continually interesting. Need to know whether the development of room will in the end tear separated each molecule in presence. At that point this is the channel to you. Mainstream society is consistently mind-decaying, right? Turns out film and television can really be pretty keen. You simply need to see it the correct way. Quip is a channel that looks at the way of thinking behind the entirety of your number one shows. Regardless of whether it's skepticism in BoJack Horseman or the vast cynicism of Rick and Morty, you'll discover how these shows cooperate with probably the most profound way of thinking ever composed. They even do a progression of recordings called Profound or Dumb, that will assist you with working out whether something truly is significant or simply claiming to be. They additionally tackle true subjects like why majority rules system is hard and how adverts attempt to get into your head. At any rate, you'll discover that you are in good company in your existential emergency. Everybody is battling to discover meaning. SciShow is a standout amongst other short science video stations on YouTube. Think about a territory of science and they make certain to have done arrangement on it. Need to realize how a bug can endure being eaten by a frog and creeping out of its posterior? There's a video for that. Need the most recent news on the COVID? They peruse and sum up the most recent logical examinations. Just as science, they cover material science and science. Set up those three subjects and you have practically everything covered. By taking a gander at some very specialty subjects, they can open up extraordinary large themes. Ever asked why it is that people have hair on their butts? On the off chance that you have a more enormous turnip brain. At that point there is their sister channel SciShow Space that covers everything interstellar. From the close planetary system to the edge of the universe, there is something here for everybody. Exhibition halls can be static spots. Once in a while all the glass cases can cause you to feel removed from the intriguing items they house. There are likewise a great many items that our historical center simply has no space to show. Objectivity is a channel that gets behind the glass and into the chronicles to bring a thing's story out from the dark. Need to think about the Pope's assortment of room rocks. At that point there is a video about his lump of Mars and every one of his shooting stars. You don't simply will see the assortments, you discover the stories behind them. Exactly how would you pick a bit of moon rock to provide for the Pope? Just as fantastic science, you'll discover more human stories. You can discover which pages of his books Sir Isaac Newton turned down the corners on the grounds that he was interested in them. Also, in the event that you need to clean a mummy. At that point you'll require a caretaker with a great deal of spit. Not every person approaches a research facility, so in the event that you need to get a look inside one, at that point you were unable to show improvement over viewing periodic videos. Highlighting the brilliant hair of Professor Sir Martin Polyakov just as his times of science experience. The recordings began as brief explainers of the entirety of the components in the intermittent table. From that point forward, Brady Haran, who additionally delivers the Objectivity recordings, has covered the absolute most unusual responses in the entirety of science. Teacher Polyakov has an irresistible pleasure in witnessing things in the lab. Watchers have even taken to sending him tests so he can complete abnormal examinations. In the event that you need to see a metal spoon liquefying in some tea, then there is a video for that. The group have additionally visited some incredible places outside of the lab. For those with a desire for valuable metals and jewels, then there are recordings of how those are delivered. You'll discover how hard it is to take anything. However, the sterile jackets individuals wear in these offices don't have pockets to stop you slipping anything out. Veritasium is one of the greatest science stations on YouTube, and he attracts individuals since he is happy to toss his entire body into his trials. Would you be able to swim in a pool of little balls? Derek Muller will give it to locate a shot. Will a centimeter of aerogel stop the warmth delivered by a flamethrower? Muller will in a real sense remain in the line of fire to check whether the flares endure. In any case, when the eye-getting test is over, you get the science clarified. On the off chance that you ever needed to realize how to utilize grapes in a microwave to make plasma, then Veritasium will show you, clarify why you can do it, and possibly why you shouldn't. In addition, it is consistently a delight to see researchers get into geeky battles. Things being what they are, at the danger of beginning another contention, which truly is better? Tempestuous stream or laminar stream? Wisecrack, who creates a progression of recordings about different creatures, has maybe the best voice of any naturalist. Sorry Sir David Attenborough. Nobody says "Babby" like Wisecrack. The tone of his work couldn't be more unique in relation to a conventional nature show nonetheless, while presenting lesser-known gatherings of animals, similar to the Nudra branch. Wisecrack will have a touch of fun. You'll find out about their energetic tongues called a radula, and furthermore why you ought not French kiss them. There is no better method to unintentionally find out about the developmental gatherings of the octopus than hearing how one of them resembles an outsider got freaky with the climate swell. Zoology has never been this fascinating. Wouldn't it be extraordinary to simply have the option to watch minute-long recordings and find out about probably the hardest subject in material science? Definitely. Shockingly, minute physics is generally based on clearly false. Relatively few of these recordings really are a moment. However, that is a moment criticize. Utilizing cool, hand-drawn delineations, this channel clarifies how everything from subatomic particles to galactic groups work. You'll discover how to really accomplish cold fusion at room temperature and what shape the universe truly has. It additionally handles all the more consistently issues like for what reason is the sky blue, how accomplished bicycles work, and exactly how far can Legolas truly observe with his mythical being eyes. Maths can be a dry subject. Unadulterated maths can appear to be inconsequential with its theoretical thoughts that have nothing, apparently, with our lives. However, incidentally, maths can be utilized to push forward our insight into the universe in some insane manners. Need to realize whether you can try not to spill a brew put away in a four-dimensional container. Just as managing things that are unthinkable, truly they manage the truth of mathematicians as people. You'll figure out how a mathematician procured $1 billion or why a mathematician turned down $1 million. The recordings likewise show a portion of the delight in unadulterated science. The video depicting a duel between two savants to locate the biggest conceivable number resembles a royal rumble for geeks. Krzgesek produces recordings to portray huge subjects more or less. Also, when they state enormous they mean large. One video analyzes the greatest stars known to mankind and they make our sun appear as though a bit close to them. A portion of the recordings may start a feeling of existential fear. The video managing the possibility of the bogus vacuum clarifies how only one change in the texture of the universe may wind up devastating it. In any case, don't stress. There presumably isn't a flood of nothingness extending at the speed of light that will delete everything. No requirement for alarm anyway, as Krzgesek gives some philosophical recordings to help cheer you up after a portion of their more somber works. One video clarifies idealistic agnosticism, however how hopeful you to discover it could be entirely subjective.